I have lots of people ask me, how did you meet Bowser? How did you get Bowser? How are Bowser and you what you are today? Let me tell you. I went to all these different places. I lived in a place where there really wasn't any bird sanctuaries around or rescues where I could rescue a bird. Those were what I first tried. And then I tried other places like Craigslist to see if maybe, you know, someone had a bird, couldn't take care of the bird. I really wanted a bird. And I grew up having birds, so it wasn't totally wild or anything out of left field. And so I couldn't find this, so I'm like, all right, I will find a breeder maybe, or a pet shop or something. So I go to like 5 different pet shops, and all of them, you know, the biggest kind of bird they have is like, I think one had like lovebirds, maybe, you know, like not very big birds, right? And I want a cockatoo. I want a Goffin cockatoo. I grew up with this silly, super dramatic Goffin cockatoo, and I adored her. So I was like, all right, this is definitely what I want. I want a silly, cute, cuddly bird. So fifth pet store I go to, they tell me they don't have any bigger birds, but they do know this pet store that does have bigger birds and has someone that like loves birds and takes care of them and gets them from breeders. I was like, that sounds amazing. So I drive like another 30 minutes away to this other pet store. And I talked to her. She's got macaws. She's got, you know, all these different birds. Not any cockatoos, so I'm a little heartbroken, but she tells me, well, I can put you on this list. And if we ever get one in, you know, in order of the list, we'll give you a call and see if you still want it. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Put my name down for Goffin cockatoo. And then I'm like, well, while I'm here, you know, I love birds. Let's look at these cute little birds. And I'm looking through and I'm looking at like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. And then I see this little, you know, plastic container with the holes in it and everything. And there's this little tiny, ugly, gray baby bird. And it's, when I say it's ugly, like words cannot describe. Like this bird looks like someone got the dimensions all wrong on a bird. And it's only the gray, like underfluff down feathers. And a black beak, and it's like all squished, like a squished bird, if that makes sense. And I'm like, this bird is hideous. I was like, what is this bird? She's like, oh, that's an eclectus. I was like, an eclectus? Like an eclectus or an eclectus? Like what? I didn't even know like the name, right? I'd never heard of this type of bird. And she, you know, was telling me a little bit about him, and I was like scrolling on my phone, and I was like, and she let me hold the bird, and I was like, I need this bird. This bird, like, I would die for this ugly pile of feathers. And so I'm like, I'm being very dramatic. I'm an impulse buyer. That's how I got my VTube model. Well, not at the time, but you guys know. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't impulse buy. You know, birds live forever. Like, this bird's probably gonna live like 60 years, maybe more than me. I can't impulse buy this ugly bird. So I go home. Oh my god, I'm feeling very mature. I go home, I don't buy this bird, and I do so much research on it. I have downloaded every eclectus book I can find. I am reading about their behaviors and training them and their diet. And these birds are beautiful, by the way. They're sexually dimorphic. So the girls, depending on the subspecies, are these red, beautiful, beautiful birds. Like very vibrant red, and they'll have either like purple or blue on them too, right? And the males are green, and they have these candy corn beaks, and then they have like a little bit of like maybe red on their armpits, or like some nice blue, and then like maybe some yellow on the tail. These birds are beautiful. Okay, I do all this research and I'm not being an impulse buyer, right? I'm very proud of myself. I go back the next day and I put the down payment down on Bowser. And I go and I visit him every single day, and he starts getting his little green feathers in, and he starts being the actual shape of a normal bird, and his beak is still black and cute, and he's so adorable. My heart cannot take it. Like, I cannot. So I would go and I would hold him there, and they'd put a towel down on the counter so I could visit with them while he was still, still baby formula feeding before I could take him home. And I would put him down on the towel, and I'd be like, here, so you can poop, so you can maybe try to eat some food, you know? And he would come and do a little waddle over to me, and he would like, you know, cuddle up right against me, against the thing, and I'm like, oh my god. I have never been like so right about a gut decision before. I'm so happy that I did it. And we went through all these different stages. There was one point where he was like, I know what a beak is now. And he would just bite me all the time. And I was like, oh gosh, what have I gotten into? And then there was one point where, like, I guess he realized he was holding his wings up. And he was just like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So his wings would just drag everywhere. He was just like, I'm not moving them. Like, this is where they are now. And then he had parts where he would sleep like a chicken. Like, he would just lay there. He was just like, plop. This is my home now. Like, I'm not gonna stand. Like, he was just over everything. But after, let's see, I think 2 weeks. I think after 2 months, he was finally eating food. And the lady told me, she was like, he loves food. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. He loves food. So he, you know, he was weaned, and I put him in his little bird diaper and flight suit. And, you know, I got to take him home, and he was, oh my gosh, he's just the best little thing. Like, he can drive me absolutely crazy. And he's very sassy, but oh, he's so freaking cute. He's the best. The best. I could rant forever. Yeah. But that's how I got little Bows. And then when he was a baby, he couldn't say, like, Bowser was too hard for him to say. So he'd say Pow Pow. So now sometimes he still calls himself Pow Pow, or he'll say Bow. But yeah, he'd go Pow Pow. Pow Pow. It'll make my heart. Now he can say Bowser just fine. And he says it just like me. Bowser. Bowser. You'll hear him say that sometimes. You won't know who it is because he speaks in my voice. But, oh my gosh, cutest little thing. And, oh my gosh. So I used to have, like my living room had, like, almost like a balcony, if that makes sense. Like, you could see the second floor there. And so I had Bowser down in his cage. I would put him to bed at night like you're supposed to, so he gets 12 hours of sleep. And we had central air conditioning, so I was really scared that it would be too cold for him. So I would come down in the morning, and he was so excited to see me and so cute. And he's like, oh my god, take me out. And I would go down, and his little feetsies would be so cold. And I'd be like, it is too cold in this house. We need it to be warmer. And at this point, it's like 78 degrees in my house. Like, at this point, I might as well not have AC. It's the same temperature outside as it is inside. And I'm like, why is he so cold? Like, I've never had this with a bird. And I do all this research, and it happens. It's like a fight or flight response. When he was so excited seeing me in the morning that it triggered his body's fight or flight response, and, you know, all of the heat went to, like, his core. I'm like, this is the cutest thing I've ever heard of. This bird is so excited to see me in the morning. His little feetsies get cold. Oh my gosh, so cute. Yeah, that's how I got the Bows, the big green boy. And it is an adventure every single day. And if you ever hear anything weird during my streams, I will forever blame it on Bowser.